Last week, I was recovering from a foot infection. Got back into training this week. Had 2 sessions, and on the second session, right at the end of sparring, I overthrew a kick, which I shouldn't have thrown so hard and from so far away, and I ended up paying the penalty for it. So, unfortunately, I've now got to learn a lesson. And the lesson is to control my kicking. And the lesson after that is more resilience. I didn't ask for this to happen. It's happened. And now I've just got to do the same as last time. Carry on, put my best foot forward, get myself to the doctors, and get it sorted. Because luckily, it's not fractured, because I thought it would be fractured just from the way that it connected with the person. And I thought maybe I wouldn't be having my fight. So it's a negative, but when you zoom out and put it into perspective, it's not that bad. And it could have been way worse. I could have broken my toe and then I'd definitely be out. But I've only sprained it, and I'll be back to training on Friday. So not Friday, what am I on about? Next week on Monday. So 3 days and it'll all be back to normal, healed, and I'll be ready to go. And I'll be able to properly slow my kicks down, because I would have definitely learnt my lesson then. I can be told by others, but until something actually happens, it doesn't properly go in. So I've learned the lesson now to be mindful of my kicks. So, yeah, it's basically, obviously, if you're thinking about coming out and doing something like this, you're going to be thinking about things that could go wrong, and overthinking things that could go wrong. But at the end of the day, you can't control these things. You can only control your reaction to these issues. And the reality is, once it happens, you're forced to be resilient, because otherwise the thing that you wanted to do won't happen. So if I throw a huff about it and get all upset, then I won't be fighting, because I'll lose motivation to train. I'll lose motivation to sort myself out. I don't have anyone else to do it for me. So I've just got to take it on the chin and move forward. I'm not saying it like I've completed the mission here, but I'm still very much in the middle of it. But I'm in real time, I'm looking at the actual scenario and zooming out, and it's not as bad as it looks. So, maybe something else happens, but right now, this is what's happened. This is what's reality. And the only thing I can do is deal with it and be thankful that I didn't break it. So now I've done that, I can carry on and just get back to training and carry on where I left off, without any other things adding on to the issue. I'm not making it worse than what it is. So, yeah, that's all I can do really now, is just focus, get ready to go back to training, and then just hit it even harder with the new knowledge that I've learned from this happening, which is to slow down, control my kicks, go at 50%. And I'm learning how to stay consistent as a fighter, because I'm just assuming here a lot of times it doesn't work out for people is because they get injured, things outside of fighting go wrong that they may not have prepared for, and they give up. Because I spoke to a guy on the beach, he's out here, he does content and stuff, and he's got his pro debut in a few months. And when he first started, the first 6 months of his journey, 5 times he had a foot infection, and that almost made him want to give up. So these things are just a part of it. It's a part of what I signed up for, is what I'm learning. And in the past, lots of things have gone wrong that's out of my control, and I've tried to control it, and that's just caused more issues, and eventually causes you not to even take action on the thing that you wanted to achieve. So I'm making sure I'm intentionally moving differently so I get a different outcome, because the way you want things to go most often isn't the way it does go, and it's about how you adapt. So I'm making sure I'm keeping that in mind and just controlling what I can control and letting life take care of all the other moving parts that are way out of my control. So I hope that makes sense. If you're waiting at home and you're trying to think yourself into resilience, you're trying to plan yourself, you're trying to manufacture resilience, I'd urge you to stop and just jump in the deep end and go and do the thing that you're in fear of and you're trying to plan around and think about, because you actually learn about resilience once you have no choice and you've just got to be resilient. So, the planning is actually the experience. So, I'll just look at it differently and come out and do it. It's just a reality of life, because, you can put off these things for so long and try and run away from reality by blaming or escaping and doing things like that. But one day you're just going to have to face reality, face what is. And, you can try and escape, but life will just keep banging on the door until you have to answer. So it's better to, answer early on instead of later on. But I think that's just kind of how life works in a way. It's like it's going to keep pushing you, so you eventually fight back and then get the life that you know you deserve. And like me, in the past, I've constantly tried to escape that fact, distract myself, blame others, blame circumstance, all these little mind games to just get out of dealing with your own bullshit and facing your own issues. And life doesn't stop pushing. It will just keep hitting you until one day you just think, well, I'm just going to then do the thing that's required here and just face it and move on, instead of escaping, thinking you're actually escaping, but you're just making things a lot more of an issue further down the line. So that's kind of what I'm learning here just from this, and then obviously the whole trip, really, just overall. So the fight's still on, so that's the positive I'm taking from this. The fight's still on. The coaches have been really supportive, the medical care has been great, so there's no issue. The fight's still on, and I'm back in a few days. And I just wanted to end this video because I'm just curious what you think builds resilience, and where in your life something's happened to you that's given you no choice to then become a little bit stronger and just a little bit more unfazed by what life throws at you.